I ran across jobs to be done when I was a product manager with John Deere, going on we're so over 2 decades ago now, and getting further in the past. But the great thing about working for a company like John Deere, and I honestly did not even fully appreciate it at the time, is they had lots of resources. So if you're on a tractor project, you've got mechanical engineers, you've got electrical engineers, you've got material engineers, you even have computer engineers. Now it's not that
Well,
novel, but 20 years ago, it seemed interesting to me that these tractors had computers on them. But you've got all these resources, and also for market research, et cetera. But as a product manager, it puts a lot of pressure on you because they're looking at you saying, hey, what conditions should this tractor be used in? Or even something like more specific, what tire options should this have? Or should it have cruise control, this or that? And it's like some product managers, they just answer the questions. They just sort of use but I was like, man, we don't need to go with what I think. But also somebody's figured this out before now. I can't be the first person that's wrestled with this. And that led me to the writings of Clayton Christensen, a Harvard professor at the time, who unfortunately passed away about 5 years ago. But he really brought jobs to be done to the forefront, and just began with this metaphor: a customer hires a product to accomplish a job. And with that phrasing, there's just so much there. It's like immediately we understand that we think our customers are our friends. We think we've got these great relationships. We think they love us, but it's really that we're really fooling ourselves. It is a transactional relationship. I mean, otherwise, think of all the technologies that have gone by the wayside. I'm sure Kodak thought it had good friends, and Blockbuster thought they had good Blockbuster video. I'm not sure if that's a global known name.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
a
yeah. We
it
understand
is
this.
okay. In the U.S., there's a big chain of VHS and DVD rentals. But anyway, but those customers, did they stay loyal as in product forms change? No, it's a transaction relationship. And with a company like John Deere, you could really be fooled into thinking that they loved you because customers had shirts with your brand on it
Yeah,
and light switches and all sorts of things. But it's really with this simple phrase: the customer hires a product to accomplish a job. And as we began to bring that into John Deere, I ran across a gentleman whose name you mentioned, Tony Ulwick, who had written a book around this same time called What Customers Want. And actually, a friend of mine was getting an MBA, and he handed me the book and said, man, you have to read this. And boy, did I not know what I was getting into when I picked up that book and read it, because my life has never been the same. But the book was called What Customers Want, and it was really a very thorough description of how to execute an applied jobs to be done process, where you begin with what a customer wants to accomplish, and you break it down into the criteria, and it had a research process and really lots of details for how to execute. And so we brought Tony and Strategy into John Deere, and well, first of all, it clearly changed the way we did market research. But then beyond that, it changed the way we did product development. But beyond that, it changed the way we did marketing. It changed the way we spoke with our distributors. It really changed everything. And let me share this one last little anecdote to sort of close the loop on that. Some years after I had left John Deere, they asked me to come back in, and it was sort of a very targeted type consulting project. But they asked me to go through all their past research and sort of bring together some conclusions. But when I did that, I looked at the research prior to bringing in jobs to be done, and then the research after bringing in jobs to be done. And research prior to jobs to be done, it was just all over the place. They were looking at attributes and desires and features, and there was nothing common to any of it. After bringing in jobs to be done, the method was so standardized. You could compare across product groups and eras, and you could compare about customers and segments, and it really added a lot of clarification. But anyway, I became so enthusiastic about it, I ended up actually joining Tony. I was privileged to do that at Strategy, which is really where it was almost like getting a PhD or something. It was a great education for me to work with Tony and the incredible people at Strategy.
fabulous.